Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Maniacal Musings. I'm your host, Jeremy, as always, back from my mystic voyage to Georgia. I was down there traveling through the Neverlight portal looking for Medusa, the things we do. I heard she gave some goat head, even though she's beautifully flawed, so I wanted to go check her out. You know how. Chancy knows about that. But my co host, though, speaking of him, has a license to love. The darkness, that is. And he does own that like a champion. He loves me like 13th century metal and his ability to stay high. He'll run to me with 500 letters like a victim of ritual with a solution, the deliverance of a soul sister. Chancey motherfucking Greif.
Hi.
Chancey. I enjoyed writing that one. I really did. But welcome back, everybody. We're glad to be back for the first time in a few weeks. We had a couple guests cancel out and us, all that fun stuff. So things happen, life happens. But we're back and with an amazing guest to come back with. We are here with Glenda Benevides, a singer, as you'll find out soon enough, and artist, and so much more. But we're going to find about all that in a few minutes. How you doing tonight, Glenda?
Hey, you guys. You're up to no good. I can feel it.
Well, no good is what we specialize in. But
exactly.
and hello, Harley. Hello, Harley. Thank you for watching. But so Glenda, what got you into the music biz? What made you want to be a singer?
Oh, wow. This is going to take you way back. It's something I've always done. So even from a young age, we're talking 3 and 4. I was singing with my dad in the car type of thing. And it was just something I did. And I just kept doing it and people kept loving it. And I made a career out of it for, 30 odd years. So, and I was blessed enough to be at a time where I got actually paid for it. So that's the best.
That's the key.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you tell the people what album you wanted to bring to show for us to listen to today, because I am dying to start this off. Because, I'll get to that in a bit. I'm jumping ahead of myself here like crazy tonight.
Great. Well, it's I thought it would be great to talk about the Goddess album.
And for those who don't know, that is Glenda's own album. So it was a very awesome experience, I will say the least. But I'll let Chancey give his thoughts first on the Goddess EP.
So, I mean, for me personally, it really wasn't in my lane.
Mm-hmm.
I've, being in choir, obviously respect, music. Just some things, just some things hit and some things missed. And for me, this was just a miss. I ranked all of the songs, all 6 songs on the actual album or EP or whichever the case may be. Just one of those things. I did have some that I did enjoy, but it was just one of those things like I'm glad I came across it, but one of the things you wouldn't try to find yourself looking for. I don't know how. I wasn't.
Yeah, I kind of saw your face when I said your name, and I was just like, oh, I just took him by surprise. But
I was not prepared to go first.
I gotta keep you on your toes, but I gotta keep you on your damn toes. But
hey, I did all right. I stumbled my way through it. All right.
I like the best of them. But I mean, I honestly, I did enjoy it. I did enjoy your EP, actually to a fair amount, because I do enjoy a lot of female symphonic metal singers.
Mm-hmm.
So I found ways to relate a lot of the tracks to like ones I know already from those ones, and I mean, your voice is amazing. The way you can do different styles in each of the songs is amazing. A lot of singers I've heard before that some we've had in the show even can't do that. They sound the same in every song.
Gotcha.
You kind of bounce back and forth between the genres, which I love.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not gonna say that I liked all the tracks, and
Sure.
but there definitely are a couple that got in my Spotify liked list. So.
Well, thank you. Yeah, again, it's not for everybody, and we all have preferences, like there. I mean, I I like a variety of music, but if it's like super hard metal, like I don't relate to that. You know what I mean? So I totally get it. It wasn't. I don't feel like it was
Oh,
a slight or anything, Chancey. Like it wasn't a. I understand, and I kind of had this focus more of. It was more from a place of um like a feminine upliftment, beautifully flawed, looking at ourselves, coming from my soul sister, which is a good friend of mine. I wanted to write a song about her, and then everybody's love, and I wanted to get into this higher consciousness, like it doesn't matter if you're gay or straight or whatever, you just love, just you love who you love. So anyway,
Right.
those were that was kind of my exercise in this goddess album. So yeah.
oh, and you could definitely hear all those elements in each of the songs. Like you
Yeah.
definitely can. I mean, I got a good grasp on what every song was about, like about halfway into it. I'm like, okay, I can definitely dig
Yeah.
the message behind all this, and
Yeah.
I mean, some of the songs blew me away. Some of them I was like, wow, this is actually like something I like. One of the bands, this is like some of the bands I know. Like this sounds like something I would find in their like playlist. So it's, I was very happy to listen to it. Definitely
Thanks.
was, and
Thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate that. Yeah.
I mean, and I think my choice album kind of reflected that, but we'll get to that in a bit. But I Well, we got to do the top fives off your album first, of course, because I'm dying to hear which way. Because I like Chancey, of course, there's six, so I ranked them all because why not? There's only six,
That's
so
okay.
it's not like a 15-track album trying to rank that. Like that's a little different.
Totally.
Which I've done that. I've done that in this show, as Chancey will attest to.
Dude,
But
you do not get paid for 15 songs. It's like, no way.
well, 9 out of 10 times those are my albums I
Yeah.
bring to this show, and
I get you. Yeah.
I already love them all, so I already know which ones I like more than others.
Yeah.
But but here's a difficult question that everybody who brings their own album always has trouble with on this. How would you rank your own songs in that album?
Whew. Well, there's several layers. So I would go content, actual execution, vocal, and I would also I would break it down to production. Ooh. Do you want me to go by each song or just in general?
Just
Well,
general.
just
Okay.
general.
Yeah, that's fine. Ooh. Okay. Production wise, I felt was good. I felt like it could have been way better. I mean, I've been fine there. I mean, there are some songs that were just stellar. Like for me, Everybody's Love and License to Love. I felt like symphonically and everything. I thought it was really, really well executed. And not Solutions. My favorite is Solution. I love Solution. I guess I would rate it like maybe an 8, like a 7 or an 8. I mean, that sounds really bad. You can always find that there's something that you can improve on, and really, what records are. They're a record. Yeah. They're a record of that moment in time where you are with your talent, with who you're working with, who's mixing, who's mastering. You're always in that snapshot, of that moment, and you can always improve. You can always get better. You can always redo it. That type of thing.
Exactly, and I mean, and yeah, trust me, you look at some of our earliest episodes of this show, and I could easily pick out things that could have been done better. Oh my God, yes.
Right, yeah.
Oh God, there was a rough few episodes at the beginning there always, but we mastered our craft over the last 2 years and gotten pretty damn good at it. So what can I say? But Jancy, what were your rankings on Glenda's album?
So my number 6 was Beautifully Flawed. Number 5 was Everybody Is Love. Number 4 was Soul Sister. Number 3 was Solution. 2 was Own That, and number 1 was License to Love.
Nice.
Yeah, okay, we're actually not that far off, buddy. That's funny. We're a little bit off though, a little bit.
Sorry, I thought you meant like critique wise.
Oh no,
you're good. No, you're fine.
You're good. I mean, it's good to hear. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's good to hear like an artist actually be able to critique their own music. Like, I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
like a lot of the ones that come on here are just like, oh, I love this track, and I love this track I did, and I love this track. Like, obviously, you're gonna love them all because you did them and because
Right,
there's something special to you. It's
right.
actually it's awesome to hear artists actually be self-critiquing in a way.
Yeah.
But my number 6 was Soul Sister because I mean I that song just didn't vibe me. I don't know why. Maybe I'm a guy. Maybe that's why. But I don't know. But my number 5 also was Everybody's Loved because that was a beautiful song, and I couldn't. I mean, it was higher up, of course, but other ones knocked it down because some of these. Number 4 is Solution because the music in it was just so funky and amazing. I freaking love the music in that song. It was I'm trying to think who reminded me of. I can't think of the artist right now, but it kind of reminded me of someone I listened to.
that was
Number 3
actually
was
why I put it. That was actually why I put it at number 3 was because it had that funk to it.
I know, I love it too. It's one of my faves.
well, number 3 for me was Beautifully Flawed because just that opening
Mm.
track. Because when you first emailed me your EP, and I that's the first song I hit, of course, and because it's the opener. And as I started listening to the first minute of it, I'm like, oh, I cannot wait to deep dive into the CD next week. I really can't because like that, just that opener, like with how your voice sounds in it and everything, that opener, it's just like freaking amazing.
Thank you.
And number 2 is License to Love because that's almost I'm like that could be a James Bond theme.
Ah, you got it. You got it. You totally
Yeah.
got it. You totally got it. That's what we were going for.
I'm like it's like kind of like License to Kill, but like in a different
Right.
aspect. Like it could have been a sequel to that in a way.
Yeah.
But and number 1 was Own That because that everything about that song blew me away. It almost honestly sounded like it belonged in like a Baz Luhrmann movie, like
Right.
Moulin Rouge or Great Gatsby. That's really what I'm like. This sounds like it could have been out of the Great Gatsby movie, the newer one with DiCaprio, not the older one. But
Yeah.
so I mean, it's just that's what it reminded me of. And I love those movies. I love anything Baz Luhrmann does. So like
Me
to hear
too.
a song like that, I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, that's gorgeous. That's a gorgeous song. Like that one, I think License to Love actually both end up in my Spotify playlist. So
Nice.
you're officially in the records now. In
Yay,
my
thank
Spotify.
you. Yeah, I'm in somebody's record. Thank you.
Hey, according
I actually liked my top 3. So I mean,
I
I
mean,
love it.
and from what I saw, on Spotify, there's actually a lot of people that listen to you because I mean, each song had at least like a few thousand plays in it. So, and this isn't that old an EP. So, I mean, that's
Yeah.
good. That's a lot of plays for. I mean, I know artists that have been performing for 20 years and have Spotify stuff from the last 20 years, and they still like don't have that many plays in some of their songs. So it's
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Appreciate it.
And I mean, some of the artists I listen to are never really made it big, but they still do what they do because they love it. But they just never made it big.
Yeah.
As Chancey can attest to with some of the albums I brought on before. But well, Chancey, what album did you want to bring on?
so as per the usual, you gave me your choice and then the choice of the guest, which I always enjoy when a guest brings their own album as well. I went straight to the old, like list on my YouTube Music, and then I hit shuffle. And ironically enough, this time it actually worked. Usually I got to hit it a couple, 3 times to skip something that I've already brought, but it landed on a song by this specific artist who I actually found through another band that she was in called the Alabama Shakes.
Oh yeah.
And I was so sad because like the specific song I would love to bring from that band, they only did a single of. And so what I did was I went with her debut solo album. Her name is Brittany Howard, and the name of the album is called Jamie. And it's just, she has this particular voice that also, like, when you combine it with stuff that she did on the solo album and then also stuff she had previously done with Alabama Shake, it's just it kind of reminded me of, in a sense of saying that, the sound didn't match the look, like a Janis Joplin style. That was one thing that really stood out to me a lot about her, especially, like I said, with Alabama Shake and everything like that. And then to see that transition from that specific band setting to her solo work was very intriguing. And I thought it fit very well with everything else that was coming in. That would be it would mesh, and it would also be different at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, and well, I'll get to what I think about her in a second. But did you get a chance to listen to that CD, Glenda?
No, I didn't get anything. So I didn't get any CD or anything. Nothing. So
I sent you the link. So I did.
Gotta love Jeremy just dropping the entire ball. It's all good, buddy. Everybody has a bad day. Oh, that's funny.
Actually, yeah, I sent to you and Mickey. So I mean, I definitely sent it. But
well.
But yeah, oh well.
I'm looking through the thread and I don't see anything. So
it's all right.
Sorry, guys.
You can make it. It is all good. If anybody can find anything to talk about for long enough, it's definitely me. So
okay, good.
Well, I will say before I let you go into your top 5, though, Chancey, you are right. When I saw the cover of this album, I didn't know what to expect. I'm like, okay, this looks like new age Aretha Franklin type artist. I'm like, what is this? And like when I started playing it, like I wanted to hear like a track or two when you first sent it to me, and I'm like, look, and when I got the link to send to Glenda, I was looking at it, I'm listening to a couple of tracks. I'm like, this is strange. I'm like, I'm going to get to dive into this one, I think. And honestly, I wasn't 100% disappointed. Like it was actually like a lot of the songs I actually liked. Some of the songs were like kind of missed to me, but I mean,
same.
Her style's weird. Her style's a little weird, and it's back and forth. Like that's the crazy thing.
I wish that I could send the specific song from the original band that I was introduced to her style from, so you could get what I'm talking about, because I saw them live on Saturday Night Live. Like that was how I first came across it. Was like, they have the musical group or whatever, and it was their second time up. I missed their first performance, and I was like, oh, I'll just check this out. It's ironically enough how I also came across Living Color was they did Cult of Personality on Saturday Night Live, and I happened to see that when I was a kid as well, and it blew my fucking mind. And yeah, I saw that. I saw them do it's called All Right. And then she also happens to play a SG, which is the same type of guitar that I play. So like, I'm taking all this and I'm like, oh, all right, here we go. And it's kind of like a funky, kind of like it's like a not quite bluegrass, but it'd be like electric bluegrass, if you will, like a
very cool.
Yeah, it's like a thicker style to the bluegrass, and then she comes in with that soulful voice, and
I love it.
It's a trip, man.
I love it. You know what? My bad, Jeremy. You sent me something on the 21st, and somehow it didn't ring for me. It didn't say, Glenda, you need to listen to these 5. Like I didn't get that for some reason. Sorry.
That's
my apologies.
No, you're good. Like I said, if anybody can find anything, to talk to, it's either one of us. So ain't no thing.
It is. I mean, and this is not the first time Gmail screwed things up with a guest in the show for me. So I mean, Gmail does that sometimes. I don't know why. It just does it. Like it just doesn't want to work right. I mean, it happens at work once in a while too with Outlook. So it's all email servers really. But yeah, and I mean, I will say, Jancy, there are a couple of her songs that definitely got put in my Spotify like list as well. Like they are incredible, but some of her songs I just really couldn't get into. Like it's just I tried.
It was kind of like I said, it was hit and miss with me as well. Like honestly, there's a lot. Like I was saying to Glenda just a second ago. I might actually send you the video that for what I'm talking about, and you'll have to check it out. But like, it's a live video of them from SNL that was actually how I first saw the band. And like, she just has this sound to her, and it really didn't fully transcend, to the solo work, but I liked the change. Like I liked that. I liked that it wasn't that same kind of aesthetic, just minus that funky band feel.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely is a different artist. I mean, artists like her should be more appreciated in today's world than, I mean, compared to like the freaking Lizards of the world and all that shit, and the
Right.
Taylor Swifts of the world. Like,
Right.
but
It's that formulaic, that the machine just wants to pump out. It's like, we've got 5,000, people trying to be Beyonce,
Right.
or Adele. Like, how many Adeles can you? It's like, no, find yourself, find out who you are, find your voice, find it, and don't mimic.
I mean, and well, it's funny that you say that because even Beyonce doesn't want to be herself anymore. I mean, she's doing all these horrible career moves right now, but trying
But
to
you
go
know what I'm
country.
saying, though? It's like, whether people like it or not, at least if you try to be yourself, like if you really look within, really find that path that you want to be on and work your voice, and fabulous. But don't sit and go, I want to be Amy Winehouse, and then try to be Amy.
Well, yeah, for
Facts, for
for
real.
the sake of your life, don't try to be Amy Winehouse. But
Exactly.
but Chancey, what were your top 5 for your album? I'm kind of dying to see if they match mine at all.
So I just went with a straight solid 5. Number 5 for me is 13th Century Metal. Number 4 is Presence. Number 3 is Georgia. Number 2 is Short and Sweet. And number 1 is, it's really my favorite song on the entire album. Every time I hear it, it just makes me smile. It's Stay High. The reason I love it, the reason that actually has nothing to do with it. The reason that I love it so much is because it's got that really nice, soft type of come in with like a slight instrumental come into it. And she has this very, it's not that nasally voice, but it's an airy voice. And she's just like, I already feel. And then like, she's not even 30 seconds into the song and she does a four note pitch drop, like up, down, and then into a sustain. So it's just like, just that opening thing. She just busts right into just like I'm gonna start off nice with something sweet and then just kick it right into a vote, like straight into, like, I mean, and you understand as a vocalist, like it's one of those things where it was like, she starts the whole song off just by fucking just showing off. I'm just gonna show off real quick. Just 1 second. Let me just do this vocal thing real quick, and then I'll get to this song. Like, oh, I'm sorry, you have my attention. What's this song about now?
Exactly.
Well, Chancey actually went one step further than you did, and I threw in one honorable mention because I had to.
I appreciate that.
It was on the list in the beginning, and it's kind of got pushed down to my. I'm like, all right, it's honorable mention, whatever. Which my honorable mention was "Run to Me."
That is a good one, actually.
It's a good track, but besides that, we really don't match at all on these. That's the funny thing. But my number 5.
I'm not surprised.
My number 5 was "He Loves Me," because that actually is like I like a good romantic track once in a while. Soothes the beast, But number 4 was Goathead. I mean, the title alone, I had to put it in the list. For the title alone, it was just funny. It has so many. It's like a triple entendre. It has so many fucking meanings. But I don't know. I honestly would have to listen to it a lot more times to really figure out what the hell she's trying to talk about. Like, is she actually talking about like a literal goat's head? Is she talking about being a goat at giving head? Like, I don't know what she's going with here.
Or maybe it's a pub in England.
Maybe.
That's also potentially valid.
Potentially, yeah.
The goat head.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, it was a fun song. But my number 3 was "Stay High" because I mean, how can I not love that song?
It's a good song.
Who doesn't like talking about smoking blunts? But my number 2 was Georgia because the guitar in that was funky as all hell. So I freaking love that song.
Yeah, Georgia's solid.
My number 1 was 13th Century Metal, which I thought was a weird name for a song on this type of album. Like I didn't really like. I'm like, when I ever since I saw it on the on the song was, I was like, what the hell is that going to be about? And like I'm like, is it actually going to be like a metal song? Is she actually going to do like a metal song in a way? But it was weird because it actually the music in it sounded like a track off the last Beastie Boys album a little bit.
Hmm.
Like
Interesting.
it did. It's just like the beat they had playing it, like literally sound like the like kind of like the space age, like down 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 down. Like it was just like off of BC, like off the last Beastie Boys album they did. The fuck's the name of it? I can't think of it.
I don't remember it either,
It's
but
it's
I
it's,
get,
it's
I, I
been a
get,
minute.
I get your point.
Yeah, I got to bring that CD. I will be bringing that CD on here eventually. Something project two. It's funny because they named that freaking CD after like some kind of project part two, and there was never a part one. It always made me laugh. But R.I.P. The one who died, who I never could think of the name of. But
MCA.
MCA. I wanted to say MCA, but I thought I was wrong. But yeah, sucks. That was the last. Oh, fuck! It just came to me and then fucking left me again. God damn it! But yeah, it does that all the time. Like I love that. I love that album,
This,
and the name always pops up.
you're the reason why we can't have nice things.
You sound like my wife now, Chancey.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Oh, it's the way it goes. But duh, Hot Sauce Committee Part Two. That's what it is. Hot Sauce Committee Part Two.
Yeah.
I knew hot something was in there. I didn't know it was hot pepper or hot sauce. Like I knew there was something hot in there. I was like, I can't think what the fuck it's called. But I gotta bring it on here eventually. That's an amazing album. But I think actually it's the only Beastie Boy album I ever bought. But well, I guess it's time. It's that time for us to get to my album. And the album I decided to bring this week, I wanted to bring because, well, whenever I have, when I have someone bring me a good female vocalist, solo project or band, I have to bring. There's only a few selections I have because my music taste doesn't usually go that far with those type of artists. So I had a very few selections to pick from, and I'm thinking about it. I was like, who am I going to bring? I'm like, there's a couple I wanted to bring. I almost thought Stevie Nicks for a second. I almost thought a couple other symphonic metal female singers I wanted to bring. But I'm like, you know what? I haven't brought this artist in a minute, and I love her. She's absolutely fabulous at everything she does. And this album, I almost forgot about because I discovered this album the same way you discover a lot of things, Chancey, by YouTube. This one song came across my YouTube playlist a long time ago, and it was how I discovered that she did solo work because it was like the opening track. It was the opening track from this album, and I'm like, all right, you know what? I am gonna bring an album I should have brought on 100 episodes, not 100 episodes ago, a year ago, for fuck's sake. I'm gonna bring on Tara's "Colors in the Dark" album, which, Chancey, this is not your first experience with the great Tara, because
It's not. No, it's not.
I mean, and for those who don't know, Tara was the original singer for Nightwish before they switched singers 2 then 3 times. But and she is just one of the most beautifully operatically trained vocalists ever. And the things she can do with her voice are freaking incredible. Anybody who respects any kind of European rock and metal like worships her. I mean, and she's good looking too, so ain't no harm in that either. But she's just a powerhouse. She's a powerhouse of anything that every band out of Finland, where they're from, every band out of that area of Europe wants to work with her because she just has such a great voice. Actually, she's touring right now with the original male singer of Nightwish 2, which I wish I lived in Europe so I could go see them. I really do. But yeah, I had to bring this album because this album is just gorgeous. It's so many beautiful, different ideological songs about different things, including some really dark topics, and that's what she does great. Is she likes to expose the dark things in society as well. So
love it.
That's why I wanted to bring it in. If you ever get a chance to go check it out, go check it out.
I'm going to. I just looked her up right now, so that's awesome.
She has a lot of work out there. She's been around for a long time now, 15, 20 years probably. But Chancey, what did you think of this rendition of Tara?
Honestly, it will always be the same. My opinion will always be the same. Like she has like an amazing voice. Just like absolutely amazing voice. It doesn't fit. Like, and that's not even me just trying to be like some type of weird heavy metal gatekeeper kind of thing. It's just like there's certain things like, it's like it almost depreciates the value of her voice by putting it alongside what usually in the context of him bringing it with like Nightwish when she was back in that band. I didn't necessarily mind this album as far as the music goes. Absolutely no complaints about the voice because, like I said, I respect talent, even if it's something that I don't enjoy. But it's just I always feel that her voice belongs backed by something else other than heavy metal or symphonic metal or any type of metal. Really, I think she's like she should be backed by like an orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
just me though.
unfortunately, I know, I agree. She'd be great with a full orchestra behind her, but she never really, besides like with the earliest Nightwish stuff, she never really did that. Like she always liked to stay more on the metal side of things because it's just
Right.
I mean, it's her stage presence, so I think it's the reason why, because she loves to like dance around to the guitar and everything, like it's while she's singing, like it's her
Which is
thing.
totally cool. I mean, in all reality, I mean, if they were to like throw in some dude who did like some wicked heavy gutturals or something for like a balance out, it might
Well,
change
I
my
mean,
mind as far as the feeling of the metal to like give that
you've
yin
heard
and
that.
yang to it. Not to the extent that I'm talking though. Like we're not talking. We're talking gutturals. We're not talking like the male version of symphonic metal singing kind of thing. We're talking like
Well,
guttural, like heavy gutturals.
you've heard a couple tracks like that where Marco got, where Marco Hightower got like a little fucking guttural shit. Like he can do that
It,
shit. Plant,
it's not. It just doesn't happen to be coming to mind is all.
I mean,
Uh,
Planet Hell. That's the one song comes to mind.
but then on top of that, there's also the fact of like, I'm not a huge symphonic metal fan anyway. It's a bit too high note. I'm big. I don't know. I like it. I don't know. I guess I like my metal like I like my blues to be, thick and chuggy, like the stuff that rips at the innards and scrapes away at the soul. I don't. Hey man, I'm serious. Like when it like coming across that blind Willie. I forget the dark was the night, cold was the ground. Oh my god, that thing is just. There's no words. It's all just blues guitar and this guy just singing and just humming. And they put it on the Voyager, the thing they put in the golden disc into space. It's like track 1. When the aliens listen to Earth music, track 1 is "Cold Was the Night" and dark, or "Dark was the night, cold was the ground."
So that's why the reptilians want to take us over. Okay.
It's gonna be beautiful. It's beautiful. It's just a thing of beauty. Same thing, like I said, same thing with the metal.
Who was it? What's his name? Dark Willie?
Blind Willie.
Blind Willie.
Yeah, blind. I think it's like Blind Willie Johnson. I don't have the ability to look it up secondhand right now. All you'd have to do is look up the song called "Dark Was the Night, Cold Was the Ground."
Okay.
Well, I mean, and you've heard some songs like that, Chancey, from them, but I mean, yeah, I can understand what you're saying. I would love to hear her the full orchestra behind her too. Actually, there's got to be videos of that because she's done like regular opera. I know she has. Like,
I'm
there's
sure
got to be.
that's probably. I'm sure you're right.
And actually, I mean, yeah, she's done multiple versions of Phantom of the Opera. So, like when they did the Phantom song. So, I mean, she's and her voice in that is classically beautiful. Like, that's what she's meant to do. She's meant to do opera.
Yeah.
Like that's her. That's her fucking voice. But like, she literally can shatter glass with her voice. That's how good she is.
Takes training.
Oh, and she had it for decades to get to where she was.
Yep.
But well, Chancey, I did 3 honorable mentions my own album, of course, because it's Tara. How could I freaking not?
I mean, of course you would. Of course you would.
Be happy I didn't pull Jeremy and do the whole album. Just be happy that way.
Honestly, I really am. I really am.
Well, my first honorable mention was Mystic Voyage because it's just a beautiful song, but it's just not the top one. Honestly, my next honorable mention is Deliverance because the melody of her voice with the guitar I thought was so matched up perfectly. I thought they did that song beautifully. And my last honorable mention, I'm honestly surprised went down so far, but it did. And that's 500 Letters because that's like a really beautiful love song. And like I love how she starts it off like with just her doing her operatic thing, and then like bringing the guitar like a minute in, and it's just gorgeous. Like I love she starts off. She does that a lot in this album. She starts off songs really slow, and then they bring in the guitar, and she just nails it. Like the transition is flawless. It's just. But my number 5 was Never Enough because who hasn't had that feeling in their life like they're never enough. Everybody has it at some point in their life. And the guitar in that song is also fucking incredible. Like I honestly couldn't find who the guitar player is in this album because I feel like I have to know who they are. I feel like I heard them before, but they're just amazing. And number 4 was Darkness because that line, I have my fears, but they do not have me. Like that's beautiful. Like that her lyrics in that one are just fucking beautifully written. She's always had talent with lyrics. She always has, but I will say Nightwish has not been the same since she left. And even though that was a freaking almost 2 decades ago, but still, they haven't been the same since she left. Number 3 was Neverlight because that guitar in that one, once again, the guitar sells me on it with her voice because it's just beautiful. But my number 2, which honestly I thought was going to be my number 1 from the beginning, is the opening track, Victim of Ritual. Because
which is
the way
she track.
yeah. But the way which is the song that got me into her solo work because this came across my YouTube random playlist one day at work, and like the way she rolls her L's when she says ritual, it's just like oof, like it's just mind-blowingly amazing.
Nice.
And like I saw the video for it, what really got me into it too, because it's about oppression of women in European culture. Like that's what the song's about. And actually Middle East culture in a way too, because the video was very taken in the Middle East. But it's just gorgeous song. And number 1, I didn't expect to be on my list even, because I don't think I actually I don't remember ever hearing it before, because I haven't listened to this album in full in a long freaking time. But my number 1 was Medusa, because I'm not 100% sure who the guy is that is on it with her, but the two of them together is fucking gorgeous. And it is about Medusa. It's about the Greek mythology tale Medusa. And I freaking love Greek mythology, so that's right up my alley anyway. And the story of Medusa is meant to have songs written about it because it's such a freaking heartbreaking tale. But, you try to fuck with God. God gets pissed off when you get jealous and groupie-like, and then he freaking turns you into a snake creature. Zeus for you. What are you going to do? But he was a dick. But yeah, Medusa's my number 1 because Tara and then whatever guy was on it singing with her was freaking Jason something, I think, was gorgeous. Like it's just a gorgeous duet. But Chancey, what were your top 5? Even though you're looking confused, like you didn't hear Medusa.
No. I was confused because I thought you said that your number 1 was Victim of Ritual.
No, I said it should be my. I said I thought it was be my number. I thought it was going to be.
Oh, that's what got me. Okay, because I was like, wait. Yeah, I was like, how many fucking number 1s you got, dude? I remember. I only remember there being one number 1 in school, man. But that's cool. Hey, that's my bad.
I got as many number 1s as I fucking need, motherfucker. But
number 5, motherfucker. Yeah. Number 5 is Lucid Dreamer.
It's a good song. I honestly wanted to put it on my list. I did.
Number 4 is Deliverance. Number 3 is Darkness.
I knew you'd like that one.
Number 2 is Victim of Ritual, and number 1 is Neverlight. I actually liked it for the same reason you did. I thought that the music and the guitar matched like as in a semblance type manner. That was something that actually kind of worked.
It did. I mean, she is very good at lining up with the instruments she plays in the band she plays with. Always, like always, she's always right on the key with them. It's freaking incredible.
You know, honestly, every time I listen to her and the understanding of her classical training, I always think over to like Iron Maiden's Bruce Dickinson. But the only real, like, the biggest difference for me between her and Bruce Dickinson is that he changed. Like he used the classical operatic training to come up with the sound he did for Maiden, whereas a lot of this feels like she's transposing operatic stylistic stuff into metal, which I think might be where my initial clash comes from, because there's a lot of stuff. It's a very difficult piece to make fit accordingly.
It is. I mean, you're taking two different genres completely that never were mixed before until like maybe 30, 40 years ago, and they're still trying to figure out ways to make them, to mix and master them and make them sound perfect. And it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah,
I mean, because
it is.
If someone came out with a guitar in the freaking 50s during an opera, they would have got freaking rocks thrown at them, for God's sake. So it's a whole other thing now. It's a brand new genre that that basically got created in Finland, Germany, and that area, and they mastered it. They made it beautiful, and then Americans kind of slowly picked up on it like 20 years later. But the Americans are still trying to figure it out a little bit. But there's been some good ones. Dream Theater, for example. But
honestly, I want them to tone it. I want them to tone their guitars down, play it thicker, play it chuggier. She'd probably sound. I mean, she could keep. Honestly, it would even like if they played in D and C. What is it? C D standard. It would, and then like kept her in her same vocal range. She'd still be able to stay in the same pitch for the vocal range, and all of the guitars would be one step lower, and it would just fucking just chug the fuck out of it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'd listen to it. I'm sure some bands have done that in some degree, but there's a lot of bands out there. There's a lot of symphonic metal bands out there that I haven't even touched for this show, dude. So don't get me wrong. There's a lot. There's a lot.
No, yeah, I same for me too. Like, there's even some metal that I don't even like. It's just when it comes to like, I don't know. There's always been something about symphonic metal that I've had a hard time getting on board with.
I mean, honestly, it's just because I found a Nightwish CD in FYE and got into it, and
yeah, I remember you saying that.
And then I just searched
the ability to scan the CD and then listen to some sample tracks. I remember that stuff.
Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. Nightwish was a random LimeWire download when I searched Gothic, and a couple other songs came popping up when I was in high school, and years later I found them in FYE again. And I was like, oh yeah, I used to listen to a couple of their songs, and I played their new CD, and it was just like, it was a song with like sound of dragons roaring in it, and the singer just saying, I have a fear of being raped again and again. And it's just like, what the fuck is this dark shit I just fell upon?
I did actually want to ask you, Glenda, your musical inspirations as far as not only just for this specific album, but like your styling in general.
Yeah. Well, that would be, there's actually several people I absolutely love. Rochelle Farrell is one of them. She's extraordinary singer. Evanescence, killer vocalist. Sarah Vaughan and Dakota Staton. I would say probably those are my 4 inspirations, I guess, that really give me fill my soul, I guess.
Right on.
vocally, musically, you know,
Oh,
all
Evanescence. What's
ah,
her name? Amy something.
Amy Lee.
yeah, just
Amy Lee. I want to say. Damn it! I want to say that too, but I'm like, I think I got the last name wrong.
yeah,
But
beautiful,
No,
but
it's Amy Lee.
beautiful,
yeah, I
beautiful.
mean,
Yeah,
she's
but
she
I
actually.
definitely wanted to make sure to ask because I had
Mm,
been curious.
thank you.
No, it's a good question, Chance. But Amy and Amy. I mean, Evanescence is one of the few American versions of symphonic metal that actually is like
Mhm.
Europeans
Right.
actually look upon as equal
Just
because
yeah, super sensual, super badass, all in one, all in one package. You know what I mean? And not so sterile or like operatic in the sense that like some people can't relate to that, but
Right.
there's something about the tone and the quality of her voice that's very warm and inviting. You know what I mean? But still
mhm.
very, has body with, well, yeah. I don't know how to explain it. She's just phenomenal.
It's actually funny because one of the first actual musicians singers we had on the show,
Mhm,
Gigi something I want to say, Chancey,
mm.
if I'm not mistaken.
You're asking the wrong guy to remember stuff.
I'm aware, but I brought on a band called I brought on a CD by a band called Within Temptation, and her uh I don't know, boy toy slash co-singer. Like they said, like it reminds them of Evanescence a lot. And like I'm like Within Temptation's been around a lot longer and they're European, but yeah, they kind of are similar to Evanescence in some ways. The singer has very similar vocal stylings, but she could do more operatic stuff than Amy Lee can. But
I wish I knew what I had brought that week because then I'd be able to remember better.
I can't freaking recall this moment in my head.
That's all right,
I
buddy. You
really,
don't gotta. Don't hurt yourself.
dude, that was like 90 something. That was like not 90, like 80
I was
something
gonna say.
episodes
I was
ago.
gonna say we ain't even broke 90 yet. Now quit playing. I need.
Actually,
I
this is number 89 or 90, so we might have.
This is 89.
Okay, yeah, it is. Oh yeah, we didn't record one the last 2 weeks stuff. But
Yup.
yeah,
I need to
yeah.
find out. I need to find out when I went like the first page of my this poor tattered notebook. I need to find out which episode that first page of my notebook starts on,
Mm.
and then I need to
Well,
retire this beat up notebook because this thing is dying.
well, there you go, folks. Your musers have brought you 3 amazing albums to listen to and to talk about. And that song you heard at the beginning of the episode is, of course, one of Glenda's songs I will handpick. I'm pretty sure I already know which one I want to do, but it's one of Glenda's songs in the beginning of the episode, opening it up for you all to hear fully. And we want to thank Glenda for coming on. It's been a fun show, and I think we gave her plenty of homework to go check out some stuff. So,
Definitely. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
not a problem. And where can they find you? Where can they find all your music if they want to learn more about you or hear more of your stuff?
Yeah, well, if they want to learn more about me, I mean, I'm all over the web. So you can go to my website, glendamusic.com. Super simple. And I have a YouTube channel. You find me everywhere. Instagram, Glenda Benevides. It's everywhere. Benevides, Glenda. So pretty simple.
Well, go check her out, folks. And you already heard one of her tracks if you're a listener. So you'll want to hear more, I'm sure. And Jancy, where can they find you besides, in the darkness?
Well, the Red Eye Roundtable on TikTok and Instagram, Red Eye Table on X, and then the Scavenger Hunt is still on. This is my actual first name on Facebook. If you can find me and I haven't already brought the album on, you get to bring an album on your behalf. So
Nice.
have fun.
It's already happened a couple times, but it's been a while since
Yeah.
anybody found you.
Yeah.
Or there's not looking, because they say this motherfucker's scary. But you could find both your musers, folks, on Facebook as the Uncensored, Unapologetic, and Untamed UQ Podcast Collective. You can find us on Twitter and the Gram as that Juggalo Bastard. You can find us on TikTok as that Juggalo Bastard Podcast. And you can find us, of course, on YouTube as Maniacal Music Musings. We are proud members of Parapost Network and, of course, always proud members of Blind Knowledge Network. because all knowledge is blind until Chancey comes out of the darkness to find the never light. But until next time, we'll be back in a week with another great guest and another 3 albums for you to enjoy. Have a good one.